Hello everyone, this is Paul from SpanishWithPaul.com, and in this Monday's lesson, I'm going to give you a Spanish verb that will allow you to express a very strong opinion, something that is quite fiery and defiant. Now, as always, I'll give you lots of examples and practice so that by the end of this video, you'll be able to start using it in your own spoken Spanish right away. That's all coming up next. If becoming fluent in conversational Spanish is one of your goals for this year, then consider clicking the link above to download my free course books that go along with all of my YouTube lessons. You can also subscribe to my channel to get a brand new Spanish lesson from me every single Monday. So with that out of the way, let's get started. In English, we can use the verb to stand in a number of different ways. The obvious way is to stand up. But we also have other expressions that use the verb to stand. For example, I can't stand her. I can't stand being here. I can't stand cold weather. Now, in Spanish, you can also do this, and the verb they use is soportar. We have three syllables: so, por, tar. Soportar. This is the verb to stand when it's referring to these types of expressions. Now, in English, we'll say, I can't stand, whatever it is. So, straight away, you might be tempted to say, no puedo, for I can't, and then the verb soportar, I can't stand. Now, while this is perfectly correct Spanish, and you will be understood, it's not the way native speakers actually do it. What you hear is that they leave out the word puedo and they reduce it to simply no soporto. So this no soporto means I can't stand. Let's do some examples. In this sentence, we have I can't stand the weather here. Now, the weather in Spanish is el clima. Clima reminds you of the word climate, and it's curious because it ends in an A, but it's not a feminine word, it's a masculine word in Spanish. So we have el clima for the weather. Now, if we want to express I can't stand the weather here, it becomes no soporto el clima aquí. The traffic in Spanish is el tráfico. How would you say I can't stand the traffic here? No soporto el tráfico aquí. Something that we have a lot where I live is humidity. In Spanish, the word is humedad. We have three syllables. The H is silent, so your pronunciation starts here. U-me-dad. Humedad. This is also a feminine word, so the humidity, la humedad. How would you say, I can't stand the humidity here? No soporto la humedad aquí. How do you say I like or I like it in Spanish? Me gusta. Literally, to me, it is pleasing. Me gusta. The word for the city is la ciudad. We have ciudad. It almost reminds you of ciudad in English. You can imagine seeing your dad in the city to help you remember this word. La ciudad. How would you say, I like the city? Me gusta la ciudad. What about this one? I like the city, but I can't stand the traffic. Me gusta la ciudad, pero no soporto el tráfico. To express the word pollution, in Spanish what they use is contamination. So, the pollution in Spanish would be la contaminación. We have quite a lot of syllables here. Con, ta, mi, nación. La contaminación. Luckily, it's quite close to the English word, so it's not too hard to remember. La contaminación. How would you say, I like the city, but I can't stand the pollution? Me gusta la ciudad, pero no soporto la contaminación. What about, I can't stand the traffic and the pollution here? How would you say that? No soporto el tráfico y la contaminación aquí. The dress in Spanish is el vestido. This is a masculine word, el vestido. How would you say, I like the dress? Me gusta el vestido. In the mini-course series, we also learned a stronger expression, I love, and I wonder if you can remember what that was. Me encanta. Me encanta. How would you say, I love the dress? Me encanta el vestido. To say the shoes in Spanish is los zapatos. We have zapatos. Los zapatos. How would you say, I love the dress, but I can't stand the shoes? Me encanta el vestido, pero no soporto los zapatos. What about this one? I love the city, but I can't stand the humidity. Me encanta la ciudad, pero no soporto la humedad. Something else we say quite frequently in English is, I can't stand being. For example, I can't stand being here. I can't stand being last, being wrong, being in a rush. I can't stand being under pressure. I can't stand being alone. Now, we can use I can't stand being, but we can also say I can't stand to be and use the infinitive, the full verb, such as I can't stand to be here, I can't stand to be last. Now, this is what you will do in Spanish. You'll use the full verb to be, which in this case is estar. So, for example, we want to express I can't stand being whatever it is. In Spanish, it will be no soporto estar whatever. Let's use it. What's the word for here? Aquí. How would you say, I can't stand being here? No soporto estar aquí. We also have a little word which is very useful. It means like this, like that, this way, that way. Can you remember what that is? Así. How would you say, I can't stand being like this? No soporto estar así. The word for alone can be either solo or sola. So if we want to express I can't stand being alone, and you are a female saying this, you will use sola. Whereas if you are a male saying this about yourself, you will say solo. So depending on which side you are, how would you say that? I can't stand being alone. No soporto estar solo or sola. What's the verb to eat? Comer. How would you say, I can't stand eating alone? No soporto comer solo or no soporto comer sola. The word under in Spanish is bajo. Bajo. Notice the strong H sound here. Bajo. And the word for pressure is presión. Presión. How would you say under pressure? Bajo presión. Now let's take the next step and say, I can't stand being under pressure. No soporto estar bajo presión. The word wrong in Spanish is quite a long word. It's equivocado. The syllables are e, qui, bo, cado. Equivocado. Just as before, you can say equivocado or equivocada, depending if you are male or female or what you are referring to. For example, I can't stand being wrong. How would you say that? No soporto estar equivocado or equivocada. In a rush, in Spanish is deprisa. Deprisa. How would you say, I can't stand being in a rush? No soporto estar deprisa. What about, I can't stand being in a rush and under pressure? No soporto estar deprisa y bajo presión. We also use something similar when it comes to last. In this structure, last would be de último or de última, again depending if you are male or female. How would you say, I can't stand to be last? No soporto estar de último or última. We have a special case when it comes to expressing I can't stand to be late. In Spanish, they wouldn't use the verb to be as we do in English. Instead, they would say, I can't stand to arrive late. First of all, what is the word late in Spanish? Tarde. And what's the verb to arrive? Llegar. So, putting it together, how would you say, I can't stand being late? No soporto llegar tarde. Naturally, we can also use this when referring to people. So, let's suppose that we really don't like Pedro, and we want to express, I can't stand Pedro. Now, because Pedro is a person, the formula is going to change ever so slightly, and it's going to become no soporto a Pedro. This is known as the personal a. So whenever we are referring to a person or people, we're going to throw in a into the formula here. No soporto a Pedro. How would you say, I can't stand Maria? No soporto a Maria. To express my mother-in-law in Spanish is mi suegra. Mi suegra. How would you say, I can't stand my mother-in-law? No soporto a mi suegra. My boss would be mi jefe. Mi jefe. How would you say, I can't stand my boss? No soporto a mi jefe. My job in Spanish is mi trabajo. Mi trabajo. How would you say, I like my job, but I can't stand my boss? Me gusta mi trabajo, pero no soporto a mi jefe. Hopefully, you're continuing to remember to throw in the personal a. We can also say very simple things such as, I can't stand him or I can't stand her. The pronoun in this structure for him is going to be lo. And in Spanish you would say no lo soporto. The pronoun for her is la. So I wonder if you could say I can't stand her. No la soporto. So depending if it's him or her, the structure remains the same. It's just that you will say no lo soporto for him or no la soporto for her. Let's run through a drill now. How would you say, I can't stand the weather here? No soporto el clima aquí. I like the city, but I can't stand the traffic. Me gusta la ciudad, pero no soporto el tráfico. I can't stand my mother-in-law. No soporto a mi suegra. I can't stand being here. No soporto estar aquí. I can't stand being in a rush and under pressure. No soporto estar deprisa y bajo presión. I can't stand Pedro. No soporto a Pedro. I can't stand being late. No soporto llegar tarde. I can't stand him. No lo soporto. I can't stand her. No la soporto. If you're serious about learning Spanish and want to become conversationally fluent, my main course, Spanish with Paul, is live and available for you now. Inside you'll get my complete course, none of which is available on YouTube, and also my personal attention to make sure you achieve conversational fluency in the fastest time possible. In short, if you like my free lessons on YouTube and the results they're giving you, then you'll love what I have for you inside the main course. You can click the link on the screen now to find out all the details. So with that said, I look forward to seeing you again in my next video.